So, I want to talk today about people who like to go and have things done at a doctor's office or at an urgent care or an emergency room, and they never ask the price. So, I don't think I have ever been in a store and gone and made a major purchase where I felt guilty about knowing what the price of something was. Our money is very important and it can be very powerful to us. So why would you go into a facility, whether it be a doctor's office, radiology, urgent care, emergency room, surgery, and not expect to understand what the price of what you're doing is? So it makes you a smarter consumer if you understand what the marketplace is charging for certain things. For example, did you know that you can have an MRI for about of the brain $330 or a CT scan of your back for about $440? Again, it depends on your area. It depends on the level or the part of the body that you're doing, but it can be very affordable, and those are all cash pay prices. So you might not have $440 cash. I get it. But knowing the price of things and how your insurance works is monumentally important. And people have gotten used to just giving their card at the facility and then expecting it to be covered entirely. And that's not the case anymore. We now have more and more complex pieces of our insurance policy that are causing us to be cost share. That means that we have to pay a piece of whatever that is that we're having done. So the days of us having babies for $10, which is what I had, or, going to the doctor and having them do a $2,300 lab work and it's all covered under preventative, those don't exist. That's not what happens today. So you may get in-network discounts, you may get benefits of it, and your plan likely has some benefits that are going to cover certain things. But most of the plans out there, you're going to be subject to deductibles and copays. So those days of, again, having anything and everything done without understanding what the costs are have really gone away. So it's important for you to understand what the cost of things are. We're going to talk about medications real quick because a lot of people are jumping onto the Ozempics and the semaglutides and the trizipatides and the Wegovy's and all this other stuff. It's the hot rage, and if you haven't heard about it, I'm sure you will. So those medications are very expensive, and a lot of insurance companies are not covering those right now. If they are, they're considering them a tier 4, tier 5 medication, and so it's still at an extremely high cost to you. There are options out there for you to get discounted plans. There's options out there for you to work with maybe a med clinic or something like that, where you can get a less expensive version of it. But for the most part, what I'm seeing is people are having to pay cash for these things if they want to be on them, especially when it's related to weight loss. So those are choices that we make in our life. It's not that they're not available. It's just going to come at a cost. So it's important to understand what surgeries cost. It's important to understand what lab cost. It's important to understand what radiologies cost. So all of those things come at a cost in addition to having a premium. And certainly I've had people say, well, I'll just be self-pay then. But here's what happens when you're self-pay is when something big happens, do you really want to have the possibility of liquidating all of your savings, all of your retirement, or all of the things that you've worked your whole life for? Because that's what could happen. And once something has happened in your life, I usually will say, your house is on fire now. I can't insure your house once your house is on fire. So when you have stuff happen, of course, you can go to the doctor and you can pay, the $100 doctor visit or $200 doctor visit here or there. That's not a big deal. But have an insurance plan that's going to cover you not only for the little things, but for the big things, so that when something does happen, somebody's got your back. And you have an agent that understands how to help you to navigate through that difficult time so that you can have the most benefit when you need it the most. I'm KG at Your Forever A to C. We're taking the hell out of health insurance. And if you want to know more about health insurance, because I know it's really sexy, hit subscribe and follow me on my site. Thanks.